Dean, how you doing? It's good to see you again, Dean. Hi, guys. Sit down.
That never gets old. Hi, guys. And I bet you Nelly Lugo is going to be watching and saying, hi, guys. So comment. But this Katt Williams video is just awesome. And because he said in the video, Jesse, he grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, right? That opened up the door, man. This is what we do. We talk Jehovah's Witness stuff. And as you know, as a member of the governing body, I don't do research. I have other people do it for me. And JP was texting me doing some research, and he was saying, hey, look at these other Jehovah's Witnesses talking about Katt Williams. It was a young black girl. And she was just ripping in on him, and she was linking them all. They're all the same. Everybody in Hollywood's the same. Everyone, they're all part of the Matrix and all that other stuff. And he was showing that to me. And I don't believe that, because I've noticed that with the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, when they leave, they've been burnt. I've always said it. They've been physically burned. They have third-dimensional scars. And they don't believe anything anymore. They don't believe the Bible. They don't believe in Jesus. They don't believe in America. They're just burnt. So it makes sense where a lot of people are going to also bash Katt Williams. But Katt Williams is saying things today that have already been, we're going to talk about that, have already been said for centuries. It's just what happens is, and the reason it's exploding in the internet is that, in our opinion, well, I don't know about yours, but we talked about it, how so many people have lost their way, right? Through the because of churches, because of the educational system, and like Rush Limbaugh would say, their concept of history is what they've lived through. But when they study history, they find out that, oh my God, Katt Williams has been saying what millions of people have been saying for generations. That's why yesterday, when we were having a conversation, you said, Katt Williams isn't the second coming of Moses. You said that. And I'm like, that's going to be the title of the show. But then you called me the very next morning and you said, Katt Williams is the second coming of Moses.
Yeah, because you know what, Gilbert? What your viewers don't understand is they tell us to do research, and they go to Google, and they go to Yahoo, and they go to Wikipedia, and they do research. But they don't understand that we are research. I am research.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I go to sleep and I research in my memory. I use what Thomas Paine, the great American, called common sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I do the research of the experience in my life, what I have read, what we have seen. And a lot of people can't do that. They got to go to Wikipedia and YouTube, and they got to steal from everybody else. They got to steal from somebody. So we don't. We have fresh material. We have fresh takes. And when I went to sleep that night, I figured, and we'll talk about it, I don't think Katt Williams is the next. I think Katt Williams is great. Don't get me wrong. I think they're all great. And we'll talk about it. Puff Daddy, Diddy, whatever. They're all great in their own theater of work.
Mm-hmm.
But Katt Williams is greater, but I don't think he's Moses. I think he's Moses light.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like
Joshua.
Yeah, he's like Joshua Jr.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Son of Joshua.
Yeah.
It's still great. It's still great. Don't get me wrong. But we find some chinks in the armor of Katt Williams. For example, Katt Williams and some of the guys that are coming late to the vineyard, they're coming late to the harvest. They think that they're the first ones who's come across this idea. They think that they're the first ones who have lifted up their backs and taken off the yokes. This has been happening for millennia, but it's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong. You and I really don't care about the argument that Katt Williams has with Puff Daddy and Kevin Hart. We don't care because we already saw this with Sarah Palin. We saw this with Rush Limbaugh. We saw this with Paul Harvey. We saw this with Barry Goldwater. We saw this with John F. Kennedy. We saw this with Eisenhower. We saw this with Abraham Lincoln. We've always been in the struggle. They're just new to the game.
And Jesus talked about this, about the 11th hour, that towards the time of the end. And Katt Williams, he goes end times, but he didn't say end times like Jesus. He just basically says at 2024, it's it, and everyone's saying it. It's over. all of the lies are going to be exposed. We all know that. We all have this we all know instinctively that this is going to come to an end, that the lies cannot last forever. So I don't think Katt Williams went a Bible scholar or try to go end times, but he was saying what we all know, that lie has a shelf life, right?
Yeah, and look, I heard Tucker Carlson. He was talking today about the end of America as we know it. Everybody's asleep right now. They don't understand that we've been invaded at the southern border. I live on the border. I live 2 miles down from the Baja California and 20 miles from Sonora. 4 states, 2 American, 2 Mexican states. We live right down the street. Everybody in the third world is coming over. We've been invaded, but everybody's asleep. Everybody wants to know Monday Night Football. Everybody wants to know the playoff, the Super Bowl, Katt Williams. They don't understand that it's over. And so Tucker Carlson was talking about, and he gave a good presentation of how the country that we know is over.
Yeah.
But I beg to differ. When I hear Katt Williams, I think the American experience has found a new seed, has found a new crop, has found a new soil. And Katt Williams, what he's saying is what's rich in the American is don't tread on me. Don't tread on me. And it's rich in the American. In this land, this land is your land. This land is my land. There's a spirit. The spirit of independence is here in America. And so nobody can water it down. There could be 1 billion hoarders coming over the border and they will never knock America down because we will lift our back. And I think that's why I'm so positive. I see Katt Williams lifting his back, and I see a revival happening in America. I see a revival happening in Christianity where we take off the yokes of our religious masters. And we say, no, I am God's son. Jesus is my God, or whatever you want to call it. Jesus is the Son of God. He is the one I will follow. I'm not going to follow the Pope. I'm not going to follow this reverend. I'm not going to follow this apostle. I'm not going to follow the governing body. I believe in it. And then we tell our religious masters, hey, before you accuse somebody, take a look at yourself. The great blues song says, before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. And that's all Katt Williams is saying.
Correct. And you know what also, Jesse, with Katt Williams, and we're going to talk about it here, he's also talking about any one of you that's watching that is very good at what they do. Let's say you're good at anything, cooking, cleaning, auto mechanics, construction. It doesn't matter. When you're good at what you do, going back to what you said, Jesse, don't tread on me. And he's basically talking about in his craft. He keeps talking about the craft of comedy. And he's talking about how people just think that they can come into his world, crap all over his world as if he's nothing. And you feel the same way when this is why it resonates with you. Because you have built your life to do one thing or another, and then you're going to let some punk come into your YouTube channel, your tire shop, your kitchen, and you're going to let him shit on you? Katt Williams is saying, no, I'm not going to let you shit in my house. Right?
That's a uniquely American. That's uniquely American. And what I'm seeing all over the place is that men of all colors, men of all religions, men of all stripes are saying the same thing. No, you're not going to turn me into a woman. No, you're not going to take me shopping. I'm a man.
Yeah. Okay. Now, listen, we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of it. I'm going to be with my brother, Cecilio B. D'Amelio. And Cecilio is going to comment on these outtakes of this awesome interview. Why do liars lie?
Well, why would he lie? I don't know why liars lie.
So
That he knows is a lie.
So why would he say it?
Because he's a liar. Nobody knows why liars lie. And that's why I had to come on the program.
A lot of people want you to just shut up, let him, leave him alone. Why do liars lie?
You know what, Gilbert? I love that man. he left me speechless. I'm not going to go on a rant to tell you why people lie, you know, like a Jehovah's Witness. Satan is the father of a lie. Katt Williams is right here saying the truth. We don't know. We're confused. Why would you lie? Now, if you want to cover something up, let's say you committed a sin or you committed a robbery or a crime. You want to cover it up and you'll lie. So you have a vested interest to lie to protect yourself, preservation, your self-preservation. But I think Katt Williams is talking about a bigger lie. Like, for instance, a self-aggrandizement or ulterior motives in a friendship. I think that's the kind of lie he's talking about.
Right. True leaders have range. And I'm going to, this is a huge stretch, man. I'm going to stretch it out. But when he was saying this, all I could think about was the governing body.
1,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good over KB and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You would have to have range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Katt Williams in there.
So the point is that he talks about range. You have, like Stephen Lett, the governing body, you're a leader of a religion. These guys have nothing. They're not Gilead graduates. They're not district overseers. They weren't out there in the jungles of Peru or Brazil. So these guys, when you look at their resume, full of shit. They don't have a resume. The only one that has a resume, I think, is a Loge. And then when they go up and give a speech and they talk about the Bible, you would expect more from a religious leader of 8 million people. Well, that's what this guy's saying. These governing body members have no range. It's empty suit. They just have a suit. They're all fat, and they don't have resumes.
And here's another thing. I think I could be wrong. I think the only buddy who has a little bit of range, I really think the only guy of the governing body that has a little bit of range, because they're all stiff. They're Viagra stiff. They're spiritual Viagra, those guys. Yeah. But anyways, they're stiff as a board. The only one I think has a little bit of range is Stephen Lett.
Yeah.
Because he could be a clown and he can be serious.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's the only guy. And you know what? And here's the thing. Everything we saying is our opinion. Our opinion. Yeah. We're not Moses. Remember that. We're not Jesus.
Yeah.
Katt Williams is Moses. We're not.
Yeah. And when he said that, all I can think about, because he's talking about an industry. It doesn't matter what the industry is. We're talking about religion. It's an industry. You got to have range, and these guys don't have it.
Stephen Lett has a little bit. Would you agree with me?
I don't know, Katt. We might not let you.
Huh?
Would you agree that on your first point that Stephen Lett might have a little bit of range?
No.
Okay.
Drink anymore the way you. I mean, we ain't even got.
I'm not fueled by alcohol. I've had a sip, less than you.
The truth. Don't need motivation.
The truth don't need motivation. I'm just saying I can't let these dudes lie.
Okay. That speaks for itself. Accountability. Check this out. Was this the one?
We never.
Okay. When he was, dude, this is Jehovah's. I think this is going to be the last of the Jehovah's Witness thing. But he talks about accountability. And a lot of our Jehovah's Witnesses friends, like my sister Annabelle and others, they get upset at us because why can't you leave the Jehovah's Witnesses alone? Because it has to do with accountability.
Never wrote anything. Remember, when Cedric the Entertainer starts, he's supposed to be singing, dancing, and telling jokes. That's why he's called the Entertainer.
Right.
We found he can't sing, can't dance, and doesn't write jokes. He did 4 comedy specials. They're so bad, Shannon, they're not available on Netflix or Tubi. Can I say that again for the audience? They're so bad that they're not available on Netflix or Tubi.
You don't think Sam's a good comedian?
The world doesn't think that, sir. I have 12 comedy specials. He has 4 specials that are not available on Netflix or Tubi.
And he says the world has said that everything that Watchtower publishes is full of shit. It's not my opinion. Even Watchtower knows what they publish is a piece of shit.
It seems to me, Katt, that you had a lot to get off your chest.
It seems to me that you're a bunch of crybaby ex-Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yes.
No.
You wanted to set the record straight.
Winners are not allowed to allow losers to rewrite history. I don't say any of these things if my name is not breached by these people on your platform. If you give a liar a platform to lie, then I'm not being messy by saying, hold on, that never happened, it's untrue, and there are hundreds of witnesses for each thing I'm saying.
It's too much. There's like 6, 7 points right there.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to go back maybe about 2 minutes. He said something about the truth don't need motivation. And that's great. That's great. I don't know if Katt Williams, but I hate this disagreeing with people, but let me give you my opinion. I think it's wrong, and this is why I believe it. George Washington said, the crop of liberty, when watered well, the crop of liberty is a crop of rapid growth.
Freedom, when it takes root, is a plant of rapid growth.
I thought he used the word crop.
Okay.
Well, anyways, there's different quotations on that. But here's the thing. It does need motivation. The watering is motivation because truth is throughout the world. The truth is everywhere. The truth is that if you don't get a blood transfusion, you're going to die. The truth is that there's pedophiles in Watchtower. The truth is that shunning breaks up families. So the truth doesn't live by itself. It needs motivation. Remember what Jesus said about the rocks? If we didn't speak, yeah. So he does. And you know what? I'm not arguing against the wisdom of Katt Williams. I'm not. On this point, I just have a different. I'm looking at the coin on the other side of the coin.
Correct.
And on that point, I think I beg to differ on that point.
Now, on that same thing, he also talked about that the reason he's doing what he's doing is hey, I'm not coming here and calling out these people as liars for no reason. He goes, I'm not going to come in your platform because they breached the platform and then they included my name. See, if they would have never said his name, they would have never talked about the movies that he was directing or had a part in the directing or the writing. He would have just shut up. Same thing. Hold on. I want to leave Watchtower alone. I want nothing to do with Jehovah's Witnesses. But you got my sister captive. You got my dead brother and my nephews captive. And that's what he's saying. Hold on a minute. No. You crossed into my home. You knocked on my door. You came into my house. You took a shit. And I'm saying, no, someone's going to clean up this shit. See,
Stop.
Yeah.
Okay, let's reset. We're in a plantation. Elvis Presley said, we're caught in a trap. I can't walk out. Katt Williams is saying, no. I'm going to walk out. Moses said, Elvis Presley said, we can't walk out. Moses said, yeah, we're going to walk out. Men throughout millennia said, we're going to walk out. Jesus conquered. He didn't let the Roman Empire tell him what to do. Even though they killed him, he said, I have conquered. Everybody, the martyrs of history have conquered. The man did not tell us what to do. Martin Luther King, he said, I have been to the mountaintop. John F. Kennedy conquered. Abraham Lincoln conquered. So the great American martyrs of history have conquered. And Katt Williams is just taking his position and saying, no. With all these liars that are in our industry, I'm not going to shut up. And I can't. He's saying that he almost has an obligation. He has an obligation to speak. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
He says that winners cannot what? Allow
Winners are
losers.
not allowed to allow losers to rewrite history.
Exactly. And so that's what we Jehovah's Witnesses do. That's why I said Katt Williams is not Moses. There's always been Moses. Moses is real. There's people. Did you know that there's people right now, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, that are preaching that Moses is fake? And they're making a living off of that.
Yeah.
What a sad existence, making a living on a negative.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's see.
Saying, hold on, that never happened. It's untrue. And there are hundreds of witnesses for each thing I'm saying.
Okay. So it's going on to the next one. But yeah, that was mind blowing when he said that they share secrets.
Hey, go back to that nuclear explosion. I want to see it one more time. Look. No, keep going. Wow, it turns white and blue like the Israeli flag.
That was one of the Russian one. They share secrets.
Like all of these dudes are co-entwined and they share secrets, and this is the age of truth, and the truth doesn't need to be scared of the fact that people tell lies. Cats on drugs.
They share secrets. Growing up as J-Dubs and the elders, we knew that, huh? About how the elder body, they didn't get along. They didn't like each other. But everyone seemed to have dirt on the other guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's 2 or 3 different subjects, but I'm getting back on sharing secrets.
Mm-hmm.
It is even the knowledge book, even the elder book, it's all about sharing secrets. There's privileged few, the winners, who have knowledge.
Yeah. And access.
For example, access to this knowledge. Yeah, so the Jehovah's Witnesses, they do share secrets. So
and
we're seeing it cross over in religion and entertainment. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it's like King Solomon. The whole point is King Solomon said there's nothing new under the sun. It's all the same. It's just the names have changed. And this is the big question. This comes up a lot with ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. There's a lot of people in the ex-Jehovah's Witness community or the world, but they believe that we can actually get along. And Katt Williams talks about this. Shannon Sharpe is totally he's bought into the "Can't we get along" thing.
Okay, let's see it.
Football player. Check this out.
You feel like, well, why comedy guys can't just get along?
Yes.
Why didn't you get along with the other teams you were competing against? If you're a Denver Bronco, why you don't get along with the Cowboys? Something wrong with you?
But I don't disagree. I don't dislike all the Cowboys. Cat, damn, you like this?
No, that's not.
Okay, what comedians do you like?
Did you play against the team?
Yes.
I've taken 46 comedians with me on the road. 46.
Okay.
I'm not the comedian you can give that to. I only put on comedians that are funnier than me. Anybody that ever told you differently was a fat Faison liar. There's nobody like me in the business.
Faison just caught a stray.
Faison said that getting a Netflix special is easy. I have 12 specials. Guess how many Faison got? 0.
So
why is he allowed to have conversations about real stand-up people? We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all. As a journalist, that's all. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I don't harbor any resentment any of these entities because I can't be jealous. I've never seen them have anything that I ever wanted.
Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe wants to believe. Let's just get along. He wants the comedy world to get along. And he puts it right back in his face. It says, hey, look, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. There's a rafter in your eye. Did you catch that?
Yeah. And you know what? We're going to get political and we're going to get philosophical. We're going to get political and we're going to get philosophical. He brought up the football team. He brought up the football analogy. Mm-hmm. Or if you talk to some of the great baseball players in the past, National League and American League All-Star games in the 60s, 50s, 70s, they played for real. Like when Pete Rose bowled over Ray Fosse in 1972, I think, a 1970 All-Star game. Hard hit. They used to play for reals. Now, it doesn't mean that they're not friends, but when you're competing in the business community or in the sports community, Katt Williams is telling him, wait, there is no get along where you're in battle. Like, for instance, let's say we're the Russians and the Ukraine. You think they're getting along? A lot of them are family. They're probably cousins. They don't get along. This is what happens in real life. You don't get along. You don't get along. A lot of people can't understand that. It is a vicious circle. There's people who think they're in the community. No, nobody likes you. Nobody cares about you. The Jehovah's Witnesses, they always said that they were always in love. I remember all the elders in our congregation, they hated each other. They hated each other. The reason they don't get involved in politics because the elder room is politics. And so Katt Williams is saying, wait, that's all he's saying. No, we can't get along because there's a job to do.
But he also said something else. Check this out.
Hero.
So it
Why
can't be
is
that
he
easy.
allowed to have conversations about real stand-up people? We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all. As a journalist, that's all. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't harbor any resentment to any of these entities because I can't be jealous. I've never seen them have anything that I ever wanted.
Okay, now it's going to piss people off. But let's just go with some of the PMOs. You don't show your face. We don't know who you are. As far as we know, they be working for Warwick. And then you're going to tell me that I'm the bad one? You're not going to show your face. And you're going to say I'm the bad one or so-and-so's the bad one, but you can't show your face? How do I not know you really don't work for Watchtower? See, this is what he's saying. He goes, and he's telling, because this guy's over here saying, well, Netflix is easy. You got 0 Netflix specials. He got what did he say, 12? Why are we going to let, we're not going to let Darryl Strawberry talk about baseball. He was on the juice.
I don't think Darryl Strawberry was never on the juice. Never.
Well, he was on the other kind of juice, the narcotics.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
I love Darryl Strawberry.
I love him too. We all love him. That was the point. But we reserve the commentary. We reserve the jobs in the industry for people who are playing by the rules. So in the ex-Jehovah's Witness, we got the same thing. We got people who are identical. We have people who are identical, Jesse, in the Jehovah's Witness world to the New World Translation. They're anonymous. And they think that they're over here illuminating us. And this is like this everywhere. You know, some girl with red hair goes to a Trump rally and wants to beat up on Trump. It's like, girl, your hair's red. There's people, what I'm saying is people haven't put in the time. They don't have the resume. And yet they want to think that they're equal to the person who's running.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Dinesh D'Souza said it this way. He said, why don't you establish your own bona fides before?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the way Dinesh D'Souza says it, you know. So when you get people who, like he mentioned that one who didn't have all those comedy specials. He goes, why don't you establish your bona fides first? That's what Katt Williams is saying.
Mm-hmm.
You have a person who's a journalist or who wants to make comments on somebody's professionalism where he hasn't reached the pinnacle of professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to attack people who have. So he has a very strong argument. And you know what? The funny thing is, this is what the funny thing is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you notice it, but Shannon Sharpe's mind is exploding.
Yes.
Shannon Sharpe has been exposed to such liberalism since the first day in school. He's never been exposed to Moses.
Yeah.
It's like the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
All their life, they've been in Jehovah's Witness. They've never been exposed to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they leave and they hate Mary, they hate Joseph, they hate Jesus, they hate everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why we always say, hey, give Jesus a chance. Mm-hmm.
That's why looking at Dot's comment, yes, I am Tony Morris undercover, and you and Jesse are officially disfellowship. Turn in your Bibles. See,
Wait. We're the only apostates.
Yeah.
Who were never disfellowshipped.
Never disfellowship. We are to this day have not been disfellowshipped. But see,
In our town, Gilbert, the Jehovah's Witnesses see us and they run.
Mhm.
They
Correct.
run.
But
They had to bring in a governing body member into our town. When has this ever heard? They even called the FBI on you.
Mhm.
They shit their pants, the Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
So this is what we're saying, like Katt Williams. Don't tell us about apostates.
Yeah.
You guys were
That's not-
disfellowship. They're even afraid. They're even afraid in our hometown to even. They're afraid to even write us a letter.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're just two Mexican beaners here in the border.
But check this out. In all fairness, King Katt, we know he's from Cincinnati, but he's not a Bible scholar. He's not pretending to be a Bible scholar. He's not pretending to be an authority. He's just a guy commenting. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey,
Katt
and
Williams
let's
is
set the record straight.
Yeah.
Let's set the record straight. I'm looking at my bookshelf, and I got constitutions. I got some guitar books. I got some silver coins. I got all kinds of books, encyclopedias. I don't have no Bibles, and yet they call us Bible bullies.
Yeah.
We get called Bible bullies by people who are so proud because they own thousands and thousands of Bibles.
Yeah.
We get called Bible bullies from people who don't believe in Christ, but then they wish people Merry Christmas.
I know.
It's a weird world.
It's a weird world. And so when I say that about ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, those of you who are anonymous, I totally respect it. But it's like what Katt Williams is saying. There's nothing wrong with all that stuff. But don't come and think you're an authority and continue being that way. If you're going to play in the big leagues, well, then act like it. That's what we're saying. And that's always been my beef. Look, there was this one group of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses I hated. They were trying to get me to go into this cult religion. It was like an online thing. And they even have an app so they can find each other, in their respective cities. They're ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. They used to work for the writing department in New York.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
But they were anonymous. But Jesse, once they dropped their anonymous shit and their face came out, the whole thing, somewhere they did a video and the whole thing came out. What? Leave them alone. They're out in the open. They're fishing ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. They're trying to They're trying to start a new religion. Leave them alone. They're not. But when they were anonymous, that's some dangerous shit. That's all I was saying. So that's what I'm saying is if you're going to play in the major leagues, play by the rest of the rules that everybody else is playing by.
Hey, we have a brother, Andy 234.
Yeah, I think he's from Canada.
He was never DF'd either. Same.
Yeah, he got in trouble just for talking about the Earth might be flat.
Wow,
just talking about it. Yeah.
It's crazy, huh? Isn't it crazy how Watchtower disfellowships some brothers and some of them they don't? That's so weird. I don't know what the process is about that.
Well, maybe they tell you who they're afraid of. And also, I'm going to explain it to you right now. In it, there's a section here why Watchtower does that. This is for you. Race is not where the line is drawn.
They canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen.
Gee.
And T-Day Jakes is shaking in his boots because, see, if you're lying, this is why they hate you. This is why a lot of people hate you, is because they know you're not on that side. They know you love the truth. This is why Watchtower hates you, apostates, because you love the truth and they love the lie. This is why Watchtower hates you, because you like to show your face like you and me, and they like to hide behind committees. the New World Translation Committees. They love anonymity. They love to have backroom meetings. They love secret elder books. That's why they hate you. And Jesse, he said it's not about race. Everyone's like, I got canceled. He didn't get canceled because he was black. He gave all the glory to God.
Yeah, I'm speechless. I can't say it any better than what he said.
Are we picking apart lies? You bunch of apostates are just always complaining about everything. Just go move on with your life. That's what my sister says. Right?
What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? People are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. Shit. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years? If what I say ain't the case. It's a cabal. It's a consortium. They rock with who they rock with and they don't with who they don't. But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources and we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't.
Wow.
Go ahead.
No way. I'm Shannon Sharpe.
No. So Watchtower thinks they're badass. They think they're funny. Fuck you, Watchtower. You know, they sent me this letter. I flew over an airplane over your fucking convention 2 days later. Fuck you. I ain't afraid of you. You got the lawyers. You got the buildings. You got everything. That's what he's saying. I know it's a cabal. I know you guys all get together. And I know I'm not part of that club. But I framed your fucking letter. That's what he's saying.
And Shannon Sharpe agreed with him. I mean, he's just speechless because, he set down the parameters. Yeah, they're outnumbering you. They're stronger than you, better. But we're going to line up. We're going to go mano a mano. I'm not afraid. Let's get it on.
If what I say ain't the case. One job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen.
Yeah. You know what? And here's the thing. On the disfellowshipping, my sister says she'll never talk to me. Like, some of my grandkids were just born. And I was telling you that our sister, Annabelle, she's a elderette in Somerton. And let's say an illegal alien came from Mars or the flat Earth beyond the horizon, whatever, from Somalia or Ukraine, and has syphilis, gonorrhea, spatial tuberculosis. My sister will go out of her way to be her brother. But her but her nephews and nieces here, nothing. So they say that so when they're confronted with that they disfellowship and they break up families, you know what they say? It goes to what Katt Williams is saying. They blame the other side, or they act like it didn't happen. They say, no. Jesse chose to leave. Or, they blame always the publishers. They go, no. You guys said 1975 was going to happen. They always blame her. They act like it didn't happen. Just exactly like what Katt Williams is saying. It's the same in the entertainment business and in the religious business.
Power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people.
Okay. This is a very good subject. This is one of my favorite subjects. The word blessings, I think, is exceptionally tied to God the Father, the Creator. Blessings. The word blessings cannot come from Satan, the devil. They can't. It is a word in our language. I don't know about Greek, and I don't know about Spanish. I don't know about Roman. I don't know about Aramaic. I don't have all these fancy Bibles. But I do know that in the English language, in the Queen's English, blessings is uniquely tied to God. Mm-hmm. So that's why blessings can't come from Watchtower. Blessings can't come from Satan. They can't come from any. The blessings is a word that is uniquely attributed to blessings from our Father. So when our fathers, when they founded this country and used that word in our founding documents, they were ascribing it to God, not the state, not a religion, not a church, but to God the Father, the Creator. And it goes in line to what Katt Williams is saying: Satan can't provide any blessings.
Check this out. So let's keep going.
That's why, you know what the number one of somebody that's so Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen.
That's what Jesse was saying. Everything Jesse said in 5 minutes, he said it in a couple seconds. He act like it didn't happen. That's the Jehovah's Witnesses. That's your politicians. That's the music industry, the entertainment industry. That's your boss. It all act like it didn't happen. This is very important.
They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years? If what I say ain't the case. It's a cabal. It's a consortium. They rock with who they rock with and they don't with who they don't. But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up.
Check this out. I always.
And this is why when I walk in a room, heads go down. Behind my back, I'm nothing. I'm just a regular old comedian that's bitter and jealous. But in my face, no. The king has walked in and they have to respect it only because I've not taken the shortcuts. I've not been funded. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. Tell you that themselves. I can't do that because I...
And then we're going to go with this right here. The reason why Katt Williams is saying what he's saying is when he walks into a room, he walks in with his spine and his back straight up. And they have to bow their heads because they sold their soul. They know it. That's what he's telling you. James 2:19. Do you believe there is one God? You do quite well. Even the demons believe and they tremble. Even the demons are afraid of you.
You know what?
When you walk, the demons move. They hate you, but they move.
When in the news, every once in a while in the news, there's a crossover in the news. For example, died suddenly.
Yeah.
So let's say you're at work and you're around 20, 30, 40, 50 people. Mm-hmm. Or you're around 10 people, whatever. And in the setting of a lot of people. And the news comes out that he died suddenly and the scientists and the doctors don't know. Everybody bows their head and they change the subject about pizza, about beer, about the Super Bowl, about Taylor Swift. They don't want to talk about this died suddenly because they all sold their soul. They all got vaccinated. They all got the meow meow. Mm-hmm. They don't want to talk about it. And that happens in every endeavor in life. That's what Katt Williams is talking about. Mm-hmm. People don't have frankness of speech. They don't have freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So is it wrong that you made mistakes? Is it wrong that you're a sinner?
No.
Now we understand. Now we understand why I always say that the best religion out there is Alcoholics Anonymous. When you openly confess your sins and you come clean, it's like he says, you get, what do you get in return? Your freeness of speech.
And here's another thing. Jesus talked about the laborers of the vineyard. And a lot of people get mad because they learn what's happening. And they get mad because other people haven't found this out.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesus says that all the laborers of the vineyard got their due recompense, their due payment. And so everybody needs to come out and understand that this is a long game. At different times in our life, people find out. So if you found out you sold your soul, there you can make amends. You just got to come clean.
Now, Jesse, you're going to love this if you haven't already seen it, but this is all of our Jehovah's Witness family. They have an unnatural allegiance to losers.
Let Big Worm breathe. Stall him out now.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
No, I ain't got no allegiance to the man. But you got to admit the role that he played, Big Perm and Friday now. You got to give him credit for the role now. Come on now.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If what you're saying is correct, why wasn't he in next Friday or Friday after next?
I mean, his role,
it wasn't good. Sorry.
There was a lot of people that appeared in the first one that weren't in the second one, Katt.
I'm just telling you why. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that there's a news flash that there are reasons for things in a business.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, why did you bench D-Lo? He had 2 points. What are you talking about? Shut up. But I like him. No one cares about that. That's what we're talking about. These are business conversations that deal with businessmen.
Right.
Right.
Jesse, I love the Jehovah's Witnesses. I love the Jehovah's Witnesses. I love the governing body. I love the elders. Leave them alone, Jesse. I love them. Stop talking bad about Jehovah's Witnesses. No, they're losers. And you have an unnatural affection and allegiance towards losers. They can't even make up their damn mind about their religious teachings. In 2024, look what they changed. No more time cards. They got rid of the theocratic ministry school. They got, now they're wearing beards. They're not going door to door. They don't have any more Awake magazines. No Watchtower magazines. Got rid of subscriptions. The whole writing department's gone. AI is writing that shit. They're losers. But I like them because you have an unnatural allegiance to losers. And JP, I know you're watching this. You need to get this video and you need to tell that girl, ex-Jehovah's Witness girl, that saying, "Oh, that Katt Williams." No, she's wrong. And I'm right. And that's why I'm GG for GB and she's not.
And you know what, Gilbert? I think
we love her though. We don't love her though. Go ahead.
Unanimously,
Mm-hmm.
all the apostates, we understand that point. And I think that factors into why a lot of witnesses leave. Because we see that our siblings and our family members have an unnatural affinity towards losers. And we can't stomach it. I think a lot of the apostates, it doesn't matter what you are, a Christian, conservative, a homosexual, lesbian. I think we all understand that our brothers and sisters have an unnatural affection towards losers.
Mm-hmm.
How did he say it? What were the words he used? An unnatural what? Affinity?
Affection.
Affection? Let's see. Play it again.
Themselves. I can't do that because
Okay, unnatural allegiance to losers.
Mm-hmm.
The Worm. He's a really
Let Big Worm breathe.
Big Worm is Earthquake. He's a comedian type, right? Big fat guy. Big Worm. Let him breathe. Leave him alone, man. We all love big fat comedians, right?
Stall him out now.
you having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
No, I ain't got no allegiance to the man. But you got to admit the role that he played, Big Perm and Friday now. You got to give him credit for the role now. Come on now.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If what you're saying is correct, why wasn't he in next Friday or Friday after next?
I mean, his role,
it wasn't good. Sorry.
There was a lot of people that appeared in the first one that weren't in the second one, Katt.
I'm just telling you why. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that there's a news flash that there are reasons for things in a business.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, why did you bench D-Lo? He had 2 points. What are you talking about? Shut up. But I like him. Nobody cares about that. That's not what we're talking about. These are business conversations that deal with businessmen.
Right.
Right.
Gilbert, can I mention a few things? There's so many things happening here. Let me throw them at you.
Yeah.
You know the saying, birds of a feather flock together.
Mm-hmm.
I will ascribe to you that Katt Williams is talking about spiritual things.
Yes.
And Shannon Sharpe is on the physical. You have 2 cultures. You go, no, they're both black men. No, they couldn't be more different. They're both different. Because some men just look at the color of their skin. What I see is Shannon Sharpe he has an allegiance to liberalism. He's been educated in the American liberalism. He's just a happy-go-lucky guy, but he doesn't want to have no problems. Can we all get along? And he's a classic liberal, a useful idiot in some circumstances. And Katt Williams is more traditional. He's Moses. He's saying, no. We can't get along. There's spilt milk, and I'm going to clean it up.
Yep.
No. Leave the milk there. Leave the milk there. The maid will come. No, it's my goddamn job to clean up the milk on my yard and on my kitchen.
Yeah.
And so he's more of a traditionalist. So a racist sees color, but these men are not men of color. It's like when people talk about Martin Luther King being black. Martin Luther King wasn't black. Martin Luther King is an American. The spirit has no color. There is no color in the spirit. What is the color?
The spirits, it says here, they shine their light. That's what it says. They shine their light.
So what is the color of God?
Light. Bright light. So Martin Luther King was spirit, and he emanated. He lit. He just happened to be on planet Earth with a black body.
But a physical man, he sees a black man. And he goes, oh, I like Martin Luther King because he's black. That's a disservice to the greatness of the man. This is why I believe Jesus is real. Jesus came in a time and a place. He got in here. He got his job done, and he left. Before people could take a picture of him. Before people could do a drawing of him.
Now.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So
okay.
That's what I was saying about Katt Williams talking about here. He's talking about spiritual stuff. That a liberal person is a physical person. There's 2 dimensions that are being discussed here. And Shannon Sharpe is being exposed to the spirit probably the first time in his life. He went to church, but he didn't listen.
Yeah.
He lived in America, but he didn't see the American spirit.
So, JP, I know you're watching. You need to get this video, especially this part right here, to that ex-Jehovah's Witness girl that's knocking on Katt. No. Jesse, when we talk about music, who do you listen to tonight when you're going to go to sleep? What are you going to listen to?
The Beatles, Led Zeppelin.
I listen to Frank Sinatra. You saw the end. We have Dean Martin. That's what I listen. That's what I listen to. Occasionally, I'll throw on some Bach and some Mozart. I always listen to Mozart 40. And that's what I do. That's just.
I go deeper. I listen to Elvis, maybe James Brown.
Okay, so you have a non-natural affection for losers.
Yep.
Let me help you understand. Our Jehovah's Witness brothers are not like us. We like John Wayne. We like Frank Sinatra. We like the Beatles. We love the Rolling Stones and a little bit of heavy metal and some good old classical music. But our Jehovah's Witness...
God's servants all rejoice. We praise Jehovah with a cheerful voice. Whatever comes our way, we fear no harm. We will get through. We have God's mighty arm.
What do you not understand? They're losers.
Hey, Little sidebar. If you play a little bit more, you'll see that this brother playing the guitar, you know he's the leader of the band. He put this song together. He is a great guitar player, but he's surrounded by assholes.
Surrounded by assholes.
Mhm.
Gatekeepers, finally.
Yeah, because they tell you that there's no gatekeepers, but we keep seeing the same people open the gate. Didn't Kevin open the gate and let Tiffany in? Ain't he now opening it up for... Don't such and such open the gate? What do you mean ain't no gatekeepers? There's 100 gates out here.
Would you
Everyone I've seen got a keeper.
Okay. Gatekeepers. This is why the Jehovah's Witnesses don't prosper. They got gatekeepers. I'll let Jesse talk about it, but look, let's just name, I'm going to give two examples, two elders, or one that should be an elder. He's not. Rick Farron. Rick Farron is talking about how people are not going to the kingdom halls and they're consolidating them. If Rick Farron were allowed to be a Jehovah's Witness elder right now, would he pack the house? Yes. JT and his wife, elders, they kick him out. And in his congregation, his kingdom hall, they probably got rid of the English congregation and formed 3 into 1. If JT were a Jehovah's Witness elder right now, and Sunday he was going to give the talk, would it be a packed house? Yes. But there's gatekeepers. And the whole Jehovah's Witness religion is just that. You can't, they're always keeping good men down. They're not interested in growth. If they were interested in growth, they'd open up the gates.
Yeah.
Watchtower doesn't want good public speakers. Look, there's a lot of people who are not good public speakers and they need to go to the back room and practice. But the good speakers should be bringing people in. But what do? We bring in the stupidest speakers, like in the Spanish. He goes, Jack in the Box, and he's talking like a dork. You're the guy that was your best man in your wedding. And I tell Jesse, everyone's clapping, saying it's a great talk. They're gatekeepers. The stupidest people go up on stage. Whereas people who have abilities are like, I got to get the hell out of here. So what do you think about this gatekeeper shit?
It's true. But you know what? It's a corporation. It's a corporation. So the corporation, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, they have their gatekeepers. Much like Katt Williams is talking about in Hollywood, in the industry, he's telling us that there's gatekeepers who allow talent from reaching the top. The same thing. You mentioned some good speakers in the apostate, the Jehovah's Witness apostates. They'll never give a talk. They'll never give a talk. You know what? In my 16 years as an elder, I was in parking lot duty. And I remember when I left, the presiding overseer, the Kobe came to see me, the city overseer. And I told him, you know what? You had wetbacks. You had everybody say prayer or give a part. You had me in the parking lot for 16 years. So don't talk to me about loyalty. Don't talk to me about loyalty. I told Mark Yanda that. He came over to my shop to see me. You know, left with his tail between his legs because he tried to go mafia on me. He tried to go mafia. He went to Tony Soprano on me. A Jehovah's Witness elder tried to go Tony Soprano on my property. I told him, get off. Don't talk to me about loyalty. Yeah,
So
they're gatekeepers.
They're gatekeepers. That's why people have to get the hell out because they can't grow. They become like little bonsai trees. They're all pretty, but their potential is huge. But they got them arrested development.
And you know what the funny thing is? In our community, in our Yuma, we were talking about that one elder, Sesena. He left El Centro, remember? Because he got in problems with the girl, some tail.
Banging some guy's wife, huh?
And then he came here and he got some tail. And then the girl committed suicide.
Yeah.
And then they sent him to Bethel. Tell me that's not a gatekeeper.
Mm-hmm. They let him on in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And his
And
friend,
all of us, we're in shock. We're in shock. Yeah.
and his friend, and his pioneer friend Jaime, who's been a regular pioneer for what 20 years at that time, he can't get a promotion.
Mm-mm.
Check this
What
out.
I've seen got a keeper. I'm a pro-black non-racist. Like, I really, really love black people, but I don't love them more than other people. I love everybody. I'm a black guy, and I try to stick with that. But yeah, I'm not one of those pillow talkers either. Like when I do something good, I'm really not in it for the gram. It's not for any of that. I'm just doing it because it's good to do.
And he gets that from don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing. And the comment sections are just filled with people who have firsthand experience with that. He just does it, doesn't want nobody to know, keeps it secret. Shaquille O'Neal does the same thing. Did you want to say anything about that?
Elvis Presley used to do it.
Frank Sinatra too.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
What do you want?
My whole life, since I was telling you when I was young and they was asking me what I wanted to be, and nothing I wanted to be was what I wanted to be God's friend. That's a weird thing if you're an atheist. If you're an atheist, I didn't even say nothing. But if you believe in God and I tell you that I wanted to be God's friend and I wanted to even go to Hollywood and still be God's friend, if I told you that that was my aim, you could understand where I'm at. Like, I promise you, no jealousy, no bitterness, none of that. I got exactly what I was trying to get. I haven't been shorted in any way.
Did you want to say anything or no? No.
Same time I can go talk to Republicans for one whole hour and have them dying about the stuff that Democrats do. But at the end of the day, who does that? Yeah, your team got an offense and a defense. They're not supposed to be enemies. The enemy is the other side. Wow. You can't do politics like that.
Nope.
It's not good for the country.
I really like that, you know. Like people lose we lose our way sometimes in politics. You know, I understand it. You know, there's a difference between right and wrong, good and evil. But I understand what he's saying. At some point, we forget that we're fighting amongst ourselves when we should be fighting the enemy.
Well, the enemy is leaving the border open.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't raise the gas prices. We didn't abort your baby. Come on. There comes a time where you have to do some introspection and say, yeah, I know, but I'm not Pollyanna. I'm Cecilio B. D'Amelio.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Pollyanna. The other side, given to their vices, let them run the country, they'll turn this into one big ass Chinese province.
Yeah.
So don't play this Pollyanna shit. I disagree with him here. Don't play this. We're all the same. The Democrats, Republicans. No, we're not.
Well, we're not the same. No, I'm just saying that we're supposed to be on the same team.
No, we're not. That's Pollyanna. That's Pollyanna. The borders are open. Gas prices are through the roof, and there could be a disease X any day now.
Yeah, they're talking
So
about.
Don't tell me that the parties are the same. We got idiots on our side. We have idiots on our side. Yes. Mm-hmm. But we're not the ones who are leaking stuff in labs. Mm-hmm. We're not the ones leaking the border. We're not the ones who are letting the cities shit all over San Francisco streets. Mm-hmm. So don't blame that on Republicans.
Correct. And the other thing, like if you're watching the news on the Gateway Pundit and others, they're talking about how an Ebola virus in Colorado.
I don't even want to talk about it. It's so scary.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Gilbert, that's it. I don't want to talk about it. I
know, but that's what I'm saying. No, but going back to what you're saying, it's not Christians that are doing that. It is like when Katt Williams talks about God, it really boils down to good and evil. God, it's not godly people that are doing these things.
It's not Christians who are doing this shit.
So for those of you that want to fight Jesus, want to fight Moses, want the Bible, it's not the Bible people that are opening up the borders. It's not the Bible people that are doing the research that is going to get you sick.
It's not the Bible people who are shitting on the streets of San Francisco, Denver, New York, Boston, Chicago.
It's not. Are there some Bible people who infiltrate, like the Red Cross, and then they're making bank? Yeah, but I wouldn't put it on everybody.
Is there some commies that have infiltrated the Republican Party?
Yes.
Like McCain?
Mm-hmm. But don't blame it on the Bible people. No, they're your best friends. You get rid of the Bible people, you're going to be praying for their return.
When the Chinese are on you, you're going to be begging for the Bible people. Mm-hmm.
So the question is Katt Williams the second coming of Moses?
No.
No.
He's Moses light.
He's Moses light.
He says 98, 95% things that I agree with. So I will have to put him as the second coming of Joshua.
Okay. And I always say, we had this discussion earlier, that I am Moses. Katt Williams is Moses. When you read the Bible, you have to be a Samson, and you have to get the jawbone of an ass and beat the shit out of the Philistines. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to read these stories and say, the time is going to come when we're going to have to be like this. We're going to have to be like those men. We're going to have to be like Gideon and look at the damn water before we drink it. We just can't stick our head in the ground and ignore all of our surroundings. So yes, the Bible stories are great. They're there to help you not make the same mistakes. Everything that we're going through in 2024 has already happened in the stories of the Bible. So it's just preparing you for what's to come. My phone is ringing off the hook. What's up?
I don't know, but I think it's been an hour, huh? It's almost. So we did the review. We did a recap. Do you think that Katt, and to a lesser degree, Dave Chappelle are the second coming of Moses?
No, I think they are Moses. And that's what, going back to my argument. You have to become George Washington. You have to become Abraham Lincoln. We have to become our fathers. We have to. And these liberal-minded people like to shit on history. They like to shit on our fathers and criticize every move that they made without looking at themselves and their lives. That's all I'm saying.
Kind of like that Eric Clapton song. Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I hope you guys liked the video. We went over an hour, and I hope Katt watches it. He ain't gonna watch it, but we had to do it. Hey, he opened it up, man. He talked about Jehovah's Witnesses. So we're okay. You want to talk about Jehovah's Witnesses? Let's do it.
It's a very wise man, Gilbert. But listen, did this start with the Jason Whitlock situation, or was this before?
It was about the same time. I can't remember who went first.
But I wanted to talk about that just a few minutes. The sides have been chosen. You have your liberals are naturally going to defend Stephen A. Smith, and you're going to have your people of reason defend Jason Whitlock. Mm-hmm. And so I'll follow on the Jason Whitlock side, but
yeah,
I would have never done that to Stephen A. Smith. I would have never. I would have done it in private. But you and I are not privy. We're not privy to what happened. But professional men in any profession, and I think Jesus talked about this. If you have a problem, go with your brother first. And that's the one thing I hate about the way Jason Whitlock handled the Stephen A. Smith. Am I wrong?
No. Hey, before we go, can you please elaborate on how, like, if you're telling Katt Williams, tell Katt Williams that Martin Luther King isn't black. And the reason you never knew about Katt Williams and the only reason you heard about this is because you already heard everything that Katt Williams said. You heard it from Sarah Palin or, all that other stuff, Go ahead.
Look, this is what I believe. And I could be wrong. When I was a little kid and I didn't want to go to school, my dad used to beat us up. But he would get drunk because he was from Eagles. He was drunk.
Yeah.
And playing pool. And my dad was a greaser. But I loved him. You know, he was a hardworking man. And he would quote to me this story about being the best at your profession. And I would listen to my dad, and he had beer breath, and he was yelling at me to get better grades. And he was doing the best he could as a Mexican immigrant in America to raise a son. And he would tell me these stories about being great, being the best at whatever you do, playing baseball, everything. And I grow up and I hear this story about Martin Luther King, street sweeper. And I felt like an idiot because that's what my dad told me. So in a sense, my dad was Martin Luther King. My dad was John F. Kennedy. My dad used to steal all the lines that those men used to say. And I grew up, and that's who my dad made me to be, the kind of man. But when I grew up later and I would hear these things in John F. Kennedy speeches or in Martin Luther King speeches or in Bobby Kennedy speeches or Ronald Reagan speeches, I felt gypped. I go, damn, my dad ain't that bad. It was all these men. So when people talk to me about Abraham Lincoln or Martin Luther King, I don't see Martin Luther King as black. I just see Martin Luther King as a goddamn man, as a man. I don't see him as black. I see him as a man. He could be my father. He could be my grandfather. He could be a person I love dearly. And the reason I don't pay attention to Katt Williams and I don't pay attention to Jason Whitlock or Puff Daddy, I've never heard a song probably outside of 1989. The reason I don't listen to these guys is because we already listened to Barry Goldwater. We already listened to Abraham Lincoln. We already listened to Thomas Sowell. Walter Williams. We already listened to the great economists, Ronald Reagan and Thomas Friedman. Not Thomas Friedman, the one who's always with Thomas Sowell.
Walter E. Williams.
Yeah, Walter Williams. And we listened to Rush Limbaugh. We listened to Paul Harvey. We listened to the men of yesterday. And so Katt Williams is like the laborer in the vineyard. He's coming into our field and he wants to pick up the grapes. And he wants to be this great person, you know, and we want to think of him as a great person. But what we wanted to share with him is, hey, Katt, we agree with everything you've been saying. It's just in America, we've been saying it for 250 years. And before that, 250 years before that. And the pilgrims that left Europe were saying that. And the Christians who were persecuted were saying that. And the Jews that were looking for Christ said that. And the Israelites that were living in bondage in Egypt were saying that. And everybody was lifting up their back for eons and eons and eons. It's a great story. It's a great human story. Don't tread on me. Doesn't matter what color you are. No man likes to be beaten down.
Now, I will tell you this, like Lavelle Crawford, an amazing, one of the best comics out there, along with Katt Williams. They both do their Donald Trump, and you can tell they don't like him because he's orange and he's white. This is the problem. Lavelle Crawford says, yeah, he loves Obama, but he hates the gas prices. But see, Lavelle Crawford and Katt Williams need to remember that there was a white woman named Sarah Palin that was saying, drill, baby, drill. But you didn't listen to her because she's white. And so the problem with black people in 2024, you need to understand that you do look at color. If you didn't look at color, you would be like your fellow contemporary black men who were saying, damn right, Sarah Palin's right. And Donald Trump drilled, baby, drilled, and Lavelle Crawford is saying, man, those are good gas prices during the Trump administration. See, but you're looking at color, and also the biblical reference is Samuel. Samuel was told by God that he's looking at the outward appearance. That's why Jesus never said research. He says pay attention to how you listen. Don't look at people. Don't look at their color. Don't look at what school they went. Don't nothing. Just listen. And you'll know, because the Spirit will tell you. A son of God, and I wrote an article one time for this Christian group, and it was called Sons Recognize Sons. A son of God recognizes the word of another son. When Jesus Christ came after he died, the other apostles, except Thomas, they immediately knew that was Jesus. They could have been blind. They just knew, because They're paying attention to how they listen. So my only advice to Katt Williams and to Lavelle Crawford types: get off the black thing. Don't look at the color. Just listen. And you're going to find out that everyone is the same color. They're shining their light. Some shine darkness, like Jesus said, and some shine light. It's just when we're on planet Earth, we have different bodies.
Gilbert, listen.
Go ahead.
Here's,
That's my sermon.
do you remember when we were kids, there was a movie called it was in New York City, something just like baseball, The Warriors.
Yeah.
If you watch The Warriors, or you go back and watch the movies of Charles Bronson,
Yeah.
and go back to the early 70s, late 60s, and watch all these movies, and you would see everybody who was ganging up. They're not like today's gangs. It's not. It's a different. We live in a different world. If you go look at the Warriors, for example, they were black, whites in the same gang. It was by neighborhoods. Just like in the neighborhood we grew up here in Yuma, it was a third white, a third Mexican, a third black. It was lower middle class, working middle class. We weren't so divided. Now you see everybody is the Mexicans. They don't mix. It's like prison has come out into the civil society, into the society. Everybody has become a tribe. But if you and I were privy to see a time and a place with our own eyes, where we used to hang out with black guys, and we gang up with black guys and white guys. We were all part of the same community.
Yeah.
Now it's not. It's different. We've changed. So we have to be Moses. We have to tell this story. Hey, don't listen to these atheists. There is a better way.
Correct. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. You know, I thank God for Katt Williams. I really do. I thank God for what he did, because at the end of the day, he's waking people up from their slumber. And he has no, on this argument, he has no competition. He really just loves God, and he understands the battle. And a lot of our black brothers do. And so those of you that are haters and saying that they're all part of the same, no, it really is what Katt Williams talked. It's either you're on God's side or on the devil's side.
Let me just say this.
You're on the good or evil side.
Katt Williams is just a man. He's a man.
Yeah.
He doesn't profess to be nothing more than a man. Do you remember what they said about Jesus Christ? Look, the man.
The man, yeah.
Look, he's drinking with Shannon Sharpe. He's not preaching to nobody, but he's talking about the excellence of God. He's just like me and you. Look, I drink. I'm not a Bible thumper. I cuss and I scream and I covet. And I like women and I look and I shouldn't. And then I hate the Watchtower, and then I pray. I gotta let go of my hate. I'm a sinner. I'm trying not to be a preacher. That's why I think Katt Williams is a great man. He's right there telling you who he is. He doesn't have no pretense of being a great religious person, but he does want to know God. Kind of like that George Harrison song.
Yeah.
I really want to know you, but it takes so long, my Lord.
That's a good illustration. Katt Williams is suffering from the same affliction that George Harrison had. Yeah, they want to see God. Yeah, they want to know him.
But it takes so long. It's so hard.
And he said that. He said he's 100-year-old. You know, he's lived a hard life. You know, I mean, he's lived a lot, and he feels like he's lived over 100 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's 118. I mean, or Cecilio. Guys, what did you think about Cecilio B. D'Amelio? He did a great job on the reaction.
You know what, Gilbert?
Yeah.
It was so good. It would have been better if I would have just shut my pie hole.
You take care.
How good Katt Williams was.
You should have just let him talk. Crazy. Well, there it is, man. Bringing back masculinity to the Jehovah's Witness.
Gilbert, where is he from? Is he from Steubenville?
Steubenville.
No. What's that other town? He's from
Steubenville, Ohio.
No, that other town in Ohio. No, he's stupid. Oh yeah. No, I was just gonna go Don Rickles. Remember?
Yeah.
He asked him what city he's from, and then he goes Steubenville. Why? That's better. He goes, yeah.
There's a small little town.
Yeah.
Anyways, but okay. So we'll close it out with him, right? Do you have anything else to say, Jesse? All right. Yeah, this is way better than all the rap music that those other cats like.
You take care of yourselves. Remember, everybody loves somebody, and I love you all very, very much. Good night, and God bless you.
Gilbert,
Yeah.
please, before we leave, thank everybody on the chat. Beautiful comments. There were so many comments, like they were talking about so many deep things, especially King of Dots, Andy, but it would have gotten off the subject.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And also, I got a few text messages. People were like, "Hey, Gilbert, I never got the notification. Doesn't even show up when I look in your channel, the live thing." So I'm not that important. But but you know, when Katt Williams was talking about being censored, the whole damn world is being censored, and this is where you have to believe.
Look at King of Dots. King of Dots makes a good point. No, seeing God is not an affliction. Gilbert says that some men are afflicted. Some men are afflicted with a passion of wanting to see God. And we
Like George
Harrison.
Yeah.
And we see that in Katt Williams too. There's a yearning. Like the Statue of Liberty says, give me your yearning to be free. There's men who yearn to see God. Some men are afflicted by that. Other men are not. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, listen to the words that George Harrison wrote. I mean, those you could tell is a man who's has yearning. It actually hurts, you know. But it's a good pain, right? It's a good affliction.
Yeah.
And I not just Katt Williams, somebody else. It was Katt Williams was talking a little bit about it, but Alex Jones was talking to somebody else, and Alex Jones says, "This is all I think about. It's all I think about all day long." And he was talking about God. He just can't help thinking about God all day long. So I meant it that way. So
okay.
All right. We'll see you guys later, and we'll catch you on the next one.